But let's talk about your emergency antibiotics med kit. What is that all about?
Yeah, so this is it's basically an extension of what we've been doing so far. So people came to us, and a lot of our patients came back after getting the COVID protocol, which was basically, for a lot of people, it's like, I want to have this on hand in case I get COVID, in case the new variant comes along. And then some of our patients started thinking, a step ahead beyond that, like, what if supply chains break down? What if there's some kind of shortage of antibiotics? What if a natural disaster happens, right? Imagine if you were in New Orleans when Katrina hit, right? And you couldn't get access to a pharmacy, right? And you had a toothache and you needed an antibiotic. So there's all kinds of situations where you might need access to emergency medications, life-saving medications like antibiotics, and not be able to get them. And so we did a little bit of research on this, and we found out that scarily enough, 97% of our medication production capacity has been offshored to China, right? So we
Crazy.
barely make any antibiotics in this country anymore. And China is not really a friend of the United States. I mean,
It's an enemy.
it's basically an enemy, right? So
It's our biggest enemy.
Exactly. So you see what's going on with Russia, right? And this really got the wheels turning in my head when the war broke out in Russia. If you have an enemy that has control of your energy or your medications, these things that are critical, you need to have some kind of backup supply, especially as an individual, right? So that's the idea, that you can get prescriptions for the 6 most important broad spectrum antibiotics that'll basically cover nearly anything that you could possibly want to treat at home, or if you're traveling, or if you're backwoods camping, if you're off grid, no matter what it is, right? Whether you have to treat pneumonia, a toothache, a sore throat, diarrhea, skin infection, bite wounds, and even some of the other bioterror possibilities. So
Right.
Beyond COVID-19, our government and other governments have spent hundreds of billions creating bioterror weapons. Okay,
Right.
and we have treatments for some of these. So things like anthrax, right? There was an anthrax outbreak in the U.S. in 2001. You can treat that, right, with doxycycline. Plague, tularemia, these are actually much worse than COVID. I mean, they have death rates of 30 to 50%. So some of these bioterror weapons can be treated with common antibiotics.